Hello everyone, Maryann here, revealing light, tarot, astrology and spirituality wherever you are in the world when you're watching. A huge shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for your likes, your subscriptions, in any way that you support my channel, your comments. Thank you. It's always in gratitude that I sit here. Okay, lots to get through today. As usual, when I wake up and I look at the news coming out of America, it's it's hard to keep up with sometimes because there's so much coming out. Three headliners, the economy continues, the bond market continues to fall, the dollar drags down the dollar as well. The trade war between China and America is having really grave consequences. If you don't know, China cancelled its order for Boeing jets. It was in the $1 billion that Boeing would have received from China. They've cancelled that. They're now going with European jets. They've cancelled beef, which largely was coming from states like Texas. A huge blow to cattle farmers in America. They're now taking beef from Australia. So, there's consequences all around. Tomatoes coming in from Mexico are subject to a 21% tariff. I was reading this morning. That's going to push, unless there are certain exemptions for food items, that's going to push grocery prices up. Wall Street, the share market, continuing to dive downwards. Where's the reprieve? Where's the break for ordinary everyday Americans, particularly those who didn't vote for this particular government and are sitting there having to suffer along with everybody else? That's only one of the headlines. Then we get the judge threatening to hold the Trump government in contempt. So he is saying, if you don't do certain things by this certain time, then we will launch a contempt inquiry. And if you're found in contempt, then we have these actions that we will take. Including criminal referral to the DOJ for criminal prosecution. What this means is he is running afoul of the Constitution. Of course, he is not bringing back Kilmer Abrego Garcia. He's made that clear with that sham of a meeting with the El Salvador president in the Oval Office. Here are a few things that I've been getting over the last couple of days psychically, and this might alleviate or give you something to hold on to. Congress does eventually send a delegation and say, Mr. President, if you don't stop, we can't guarantee that you've got the Congress. So there's some kind of delegation or threat made to him to change course, and possibly if he doesn't change course there could be an impeachment. Now, when would this happen? I've always seen he doesn't do the full term. I thought around 2027, but I'm getting a more urgent kind of feeling around this, and I think they're not going to take this action over him ignoring court orders. That's not where it's going to happen. It will be over the economy. It will be over Ted Cruz's big Texas cattlemen coming to him or other billionaire type of donors coming to them and putting pressure on them. It will be over the economy. It will be when they fully realise that they could lose their seats in 2026 or 2028. That's when the penny, so to speak, could drop. So the economy keeps trajecting downwards, and some are saying there's already a recession, but a very bad recession, possibly even worse than a recession, that's when you're going to see this threat or delegation going to him in much the same way as they went to Nixon, and this could eventually, if he doesn't change course, he may have already be receiving this kind of talking to. We'll take a look at what Republicans are thinking, but this is certainly one way that he could be leveraged, strong-armed into either backing down, or it could result in an impeachment and conviction. It's when he no longer has the numbers in Congress. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to say. He could actually, if this continues, be removed from office, but it will be the economy completely and utterly crashing, and I mean crashing, that would motivate Republicans. It won't be defying court orders. In terms of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, I tuned in clairvoyantly to him. I saw him with his head down, shoulders slumped, standing there. I think he's still alive, but I did pick up trouble around his heart. Now, it was the same kind of feeling that I got when I tuned into Alexei Navalny in Russia, the late Mr. Navalny, who was obviously tortured and killed in prison, in a Russian prison, the opposition leader. We forget that, don't we? Russia kills its opposition leaders. I feel that there's something around his heart. Now, this could be because he's broken and he's despairing, or it could be, something else. He could be being... and I don't want to upset anybody, but the El Salvador prison is known for the way, I'm going to say mistreats, but you use your imagination, its prisoners. I do feel at this point he's still alive, but there's very much a grey, there's a very much a darkness there around him. Yeah, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Anyway, that's the update on Mr. Garcia. I think he's still alive, but I don't think he's in good shape. Okay. Some of the things we're going to go through today will the Trump government be found in contempt? Will this judge find him in contempt for not bringing back the Venezuelans? And Mr. Garcia, remember the Supreme Court 9-0, bring him back. And then, of course, they twist and lie. The Supreme Court found, and other subsequent courts below the Supreme Court found no evidence that he was a gang member. Our Republican congressional members talking about perhaps warning or talking to Trump that he may not have numbers. At this time, with the economy in such a dive, will the budget actually even pass with those terrible deficit-causing tax cuts for the wealthy? On that, you see Bernie Sanders and AOC and the hands-off protests just in states that you wouldn't think, getting numbers in Utah, in Idaho. It's an incredible movement going on in America at the moment, and it really gives me a lot of heart. So what are Republicans actually thinking? Are they getting to the point where they would approach him and warn him around what they're going to block or what they're going to let through? Leverage him, in other words. Do they have the actual guts to do that? California Governor Gavin Newsom is suing, saying the Trump government had no authority to introduce those tariffs. Let's see if Gavin Newsom in California will be successful. The Insurrection Act, would Trump, given those hands-off protests, would he introduce that on some literally trumped up reason? And will they eventually move to stop protests? What else? Well, we'll just go through it and see what happens. Okay, there'll be other things that I will think about. I'm using the the Jabaritzi deck here. by Nino Japarizzi, a beautiful, beautiful artist. So I'm going to do that, use that. I've got my Llewellyn Tarot and I've got the Osho Zen Tarot. Again, want to give you some background on the development of the Osho Zen Tarot. I've always been drawn to the Zen philosophy. You know, I don't know how people perceive this deck, but it was created by an American woman living in Massachusetts who then moved to Australia. And she's an artist in Victoria, Australia. She gets grants. Her paintings are so well thought of that that she's quite a prominent artist in Australia now. So both decks are very artistic. All right, let's get started with will the Trump government be found in contempt? With Judge Garcia. Let's see. Will the Trump government? He's asked for names of who's responsible for not bringing these people back, and he would proceed with a contempt inquiry. If I think he's given them 24 hours or something like that to come back with a reason as to why, and he will pursue this. Okay, so will this judge find the Trump government in contempt? Criminal contempt. So we have the Queen of Tides, which is the Queen of Cups in this deck. And she comes out very, very often, or frequently in my readings, and it's because the actual meaning is she is nurturing of herself and nurturing others. And in this deck, she's pouring the water out, meaning that there is something that needs to be released, let go of, finished with, in order to take good care. And we have the Eight of Wands here, suggesting things moving very, very, very quickly. This volcano is about to explode. Signifier cards are showing that this judge is deadly serious, and it's more than likely that the contempt finding will move forward. The foundation of the reading is the Four of Pentacles. Four of Gardens, Four of Pentacles, and this is traditionally about holding back information. They're not going to supply the information, and that is what's going to trigger this criminal contempt inquiry and likely finding of contempt. The Hermit card is isolation and review, and that is in the past. He's just not obeying the courts. In the sky, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is change. Can be fortuitous or not so fortuitous change. And we have the government in the immediate future, the Hierophant. The here and now, we have the Ten of Rods, playing with fire, playing a chess game with fire. But the Ten of Rods is you can drop that anytime. You can make a false move anytime. The environment around is the Queen of Swords, and so logic and the law is what creates stability. In the absence of that, you have instability. The Ace of Wands is in the hopes and fears. The Ace of Swords is in the hopes and fears. The Ace of Winds. And this is the truth, fearing the truth and hoping for the truth makes sense in this case. And we have the Stranger of Gardens, which is the Knight of Pentacles, consistency. The law needs consistency. It's a yes card. And we have the Seven of Cups, which is illusion and delusion. It's just that really card sums up the current atmosphere. So many snakes in that card, and so much glittery, bright things that, whether it's personal power. If you look at everyone surrounding Trump at the moment and Trump himself, you see that kind of a scene. I think there's a crown in there as well. There's a gold. There's a gold false gods kind of statue. Looks a little bit like Mr. Trump. There are treasures here. There are things that have fallen. The pentacle here is surrounded by the snakes. It's a very apt card. Illusion and delusion. And remember, we are finishing with this Piscean, so many planets in Pisces, Neptune moving into Pisces, later on Neptune moving into Aries, Saturn later on moving into Aries. We're starting to literally wake up, and that's what my readings are showing, that this is gradual coming online of people. Even if they did vote for him, they're starting to wake up to the reality. You put a felon who's been convicted of fraud into and found liable for many other things, including sexual abuse, in the civil court, but you convicted of fraud, a convicted felon in the White House. What are you going to get? Do you think he's going to obey the law? The past, okay? The Six of Pentacles is the past, and we get the Eight of Wands, which is the Eight of Swords. I think there's going to be a criminal contempt inquiry. When we look at the Knight of Pentacles, this judge is going to stick with the consistency of the law, the stability of the law, and pierce through this illusion and delusion of the past, and we get the Eight of Swords, which is restriction, suggesting someone's going to have to be charged with criminal contempt. And then we get the Knight of Swords, which is the truth emerging. So I think it's likely that they will be charged with criminal contempt. What happens then? There are a number of steps for the judge to go through. The last step, is that it's referred to the Justice Department for charging and prosecution. So, but still, people who are his fall guys now have to bear in mind that if there's a change of government, they're hoisting their batard to this one-term president whose, popularity is in the 40% now, just spiraling, minus 22% or something like that. If they, and who is actually tanking the economy, what's going to come after he's gone? A criminal charge. All right, so should make them think. I think that's where it's going to land. Okay, let's have a look at are the Republicans in Congress? Are the Republicans in Congress actually talking about? I don't think it's going to take a bit more for them to do this, but they could be starting to talk about it now. Grassley led he's pro-temp pure, whatever that word is, in the Senate, right? So he has a position in the line of succession. If Trump's no longer there, Vance is no longer there, Johnson and Grassley have this responsibility here. So Grassley led the charge with Mitch McConnell and Murkowski, I think Collins. Anyway, Republican senators to join with the Democrats to, as I predicted, to try and take the power of tariff setting on Canada away from Trump. Mike Johnson just refused to bring that bill to the House floor. Why? Because it actually could have been passed. Let's have a look if the Congress, the Republicans, that should have sent a message to Trump, but it hasn't. Will there be a more direct message to Trump from the Republicans to stop this willful destruction of the economy? What are they starting to talk about? Their options. Someone's got something behind their back, and it's like a scroll. It's something that and then okay. I think it's an impeachment threat. Is that correct? Are they starting to think about an impeachment threat to get him to back off this willful destruction of the economy. Are Republicans starting to think about this impeachment threat? Okay, so we get the King of Wands, that's wisdom. Sorry, King of Cups, that's wisdom. Wisdom and maturity. And we get the Jester of Pentacles, Jester of Gardens. So we get the Page of Pentacles. So it's definitely the economy that will prompt this action. And we get the Three of Swords, betrayal, heartbreak as the foundation of the reading. Wow. Yeah, it's the economy that prompts them to act. The Stranger of Gardens, which is the Knight of Pentacles, as in the past, the economy was stable. Not so stable now. A lot of suffering, a lot of people, farmers losing their farms. And here we get the Seven of Cups again here in the sky, meaning that the Republicans aren't quite free of their own role in this yet. So potentially they fall into the illusion, this kind of, it's not actually cult, but it's an illusion of Trump's power. That's only a potential though. We get the World card in the immediate future, which is the end of something, the beginning of something new. Wow, that's a major completion of a cycle. The Five of Swords is in the present, which is sabotage and abuse. And we get the Empress in the environment around abundance, wealth. That's what he's abusing. He's sabotaging the country's wealth. The Nine of Cups is in the hopes and fears, so that's wish fulfillment. I guess they're wishing that he will come back to his senses. And then we get the Six of Pentacles, which is the past, and it's clarified by the Fool card, which is the new start. So these are both yes cards. So they're starting to think about what they can do now, the Queen of Pentacles, to stabilise the economy. It looks like they are going to approach him in some way. The Eight of Fire, which is the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Eight of Fire, which is the Eight of Wands, moving very, very quickly. And we could get word that they've taken a delegation to him. And this is restriction. The Eight of Swords is restriction. So both of these cards, Magician, Manifestation, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Six of Fire, Six of Wands, and the Ace of Fire. So I think there is... the Six of Gardens is debt. Debt. The Six of... So the outcome is the Six of Pentacles, which is debt. And then we get new starts, and then we get stability. So it is the debt level that's bothering them. It's the bond market that is the issue here. So it seems to me they have a threat. I think more immediately this is going to be around the budget. Some saying they won't pass his budget. Is that where we're going to come out? Let's see. Are they threatening not to pass his budget? All right, so let's see. Are they threatening not to pass his budget? Okay, so right now, just to clarify, they are thinking about what they can do to stop him. They haven't reached the point yet where they will... they're still sort of participating right now, but it will get to a point where they will... They may do the warning bit now in the immediate future, but I think impeachment is on the table. Impeachment and conviction eventually is on the table, and perhaps before 2027. All right, let's have a look. It's like, how far does he go before they rein him in? I think he is going to be reined in, and I'm just going to see. Will he be reined in? Will he be reined in? Just a few cards, please. So it's the debt that's bothering them. The Tower card. We get the Four of Cups. So they've still got Ace of Cups up their sleeve, and they're prepared to use it. The Death card, end something. They're going to end something. The Two of Cups coming together with Democrats. Deals. They're doing deals right now. The Knight of Wands moving very, very quickly. And the Six of Wands, victory. Yeah. It's the budget that's that they're dealing with now. They're going to deal with. If you don't stop this, it's the debt, the US debt, that they're very, very concerned with, and so they should. Three of Wands, and the Two of Swords, heavy decisions to make. The Moon card, volatility, is in the hopes and fears. You know, this is all karmic, as I said. And the Chariot, yeah. So it's threats around the budget, and not everything that Trump wants is going to get through anyway. And we get the Star card here. So here's basically what these cards are telling me. In the immediate future, they're going to try and rein him in. Okay, and it could be leverage around passing his budget. I don't think his budget will go through at the same time as the economy is tanking in the way that it is. There's a huge showdown coming between Congress and the Trump government. That will be the next thing that we hear about. Ultimately, he's going to fail so disastrously. I mean, they mean the same things, but I want to emphasize the extent of the failure, that if he still keeps going in this trajectory, the possibility is that they impeach and convict him, remove him from office. And of course, then you have J.D. Vance, who won't stand up. The junior senator from Ohio will not be able to stand up to the Congress if they remove Trump. All right, let's have a look at... So this could be dealt with by the Republicans and Democrats in Congress. I think immediately you're going to hear about some sort of action that they're taking, some kind of joint action. And, you know, Johnson may have to either be removed as Speaker, as I always saw him being removed, or do some sort of deal in order to bring something to the floor. There is... anyway, we're going to hear about this in the next couple of weeks. And it is the debt, US debt, that is prompting them to act. Okay. All right, let's have a look at... so Judge, yeah, I'm going to find them in contempt. Let's have a look at California. Let's change decks. California. Yeah. Okay. Will the California civil suit be successful? Will the California civil suit be successful? Something's jumped out. The government, the courts, the High Court. That's a positive card. It's all going to merge. All these things are going to merge at the one time, which I think could unravel the Trump government. It could end the Trump government. Will his finances, Trump's finances in the last, personal finances are terrible, which means that people will be individually suing him. All right, so for Trump, is there life after this latest Trump presidency? Life after it? I don't think so. Okay. All right, this is all, it's karmic, it's revolutionary, it's... All right. Will California win its civil suit against the Trump government on tariffs? Will California, fifth largest economy in the world, win its suit against the Trump government on tariffs? People think there's no manufacturing in the US. They'd be wrong. Okay, so we get here the Three of Swords and the Devil. Heartbreak and Toxicity, greed, terrible, 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 terrible cards. It's a terrible situation. We get the Seven of Cups, illusion, delusion. It's sad. Like, it's, people were warned and they still voted for him. Look at this. Look at this. That's in the past. Now we get things moving in the sky, moving very, very quickly. We have the law and stability of the law in the immediate future. That's a good sign. I think they're going to get some wins fairly early on the board. The Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is financial stability. That's in the present. And then we get the Knight of Wands, a movement forward, a movement towards stability, or re-stabilizing, getting stability back. In the hopes and fears, of course, there's sabotage. And then we get the Ten of Pentacles. California will be successful. Look at these cards. And we get boundaries. Finally, boundaries coming back. And a deal being made. Wow. The Trump government is going to have to pay California money, or there's some sort of deal made, and we get moderation. All of these events start to move the needle. This is celebration. California wins that suit, gets early wins on the board. That's the prediction. You'll see the early wins, and there's a compensation needed from the federal government to California. And if there is that with California, what else is needed for other states? It's entirely conceivable that we'll see Texas even jumping on this bandwagon. Could you believe that? This is disastrous. Absolutely disastrous. Okay. Let's have a look at the Insurrection Act. April the 20th. Trump's very good at concocting bogus reasons for introducing things. I mean, Canada, less than 1% of fentanyl across the border. Made up kind of things. And they will be eventually found to have been not sufficient reasons to introduce tariffs. If you have, what did I see the headline from the Ezra Klein show? If you employ clowns, then you get a circus. Okay. Let's have a look. Elections have consequences. I know people say that all the time, but they do. Okay, we have a movement toward unconscious actions toward consciousness in the US at this time, and across the world too. All right, will Trump impose the Insurrection Act? Activate the Insurrection Act. Will Trump activate the Insurrection Act? He's got his cabinet there. I'm seeing a long table. Will Trump... People will only trade with the countries that have stability. Okay, so this would further dent the markets, chase away investors. Will Trump implement the Insurrection Act? Will Trump... Show me clearly. So we get the Hangman pausing it. I'm not feeling that the law... I don't think he will. I think it would be a bridge too far. He'd like to if he could, but at this time, no. The Star card is in the past. We get the Eight of Pentacles. Somebody that is learning as they go. And we get the Death card, the end of something. That Death card comes up all the time. We get the Sun in the here and now. And then we get the Hermit. He just doesn't have support, I think, in his cabinet, particularly or Congress to implement it. Wish fulfillment in the hopes and fears. He'd like to do it, but we get a no. Well, that's a no card, but Three of Swords is heartbreak. The Ten of Wands, complete and utter downfall. Crossroads, no. I don't think so. But he's got an ace up his sleeve. He's leaving it for later. Okay? Leaving it for later. We get the Nine of Pentacles, wealth and abundance. No, it's not the right time. It's, oh God, the Devil card again. It's not the right time. I don't think he's going to do it. I may be right, I may be wrong, but I just don't see. But he's got it there for later. Maybe he doesn't do it now, but he does it at some time in the future. I hope I'm right that he doesn't do it. Okay, what else is there? I've got to read my own writing. Of course, his playbook is Hungary. Viktor Orban and Hungary going after the universities. Let's see. So they're going to warn him. There's something around the budget that they're not going to pass. Let's see. Let's go to... Oh, all right. Let's see. How can the economic situation be salvaged in America? Will America's economy stabilize? Will America's economy stabilize? Will America's economy stabilize? Will America's economy stabilize? Justice, it will when the law is adhered to, when justice is done. And we get the Emperor. It won't be while he continues to break the law, okay? Isolationism and protectionism. Not good cards. The Tower card is in the past. It looks like the tariffs, the damage is it's like it's crashed things. Judgment, it's an inevitability. Something is an inevitability. It's a recession. The recession is the inevitability. We get the past here in the present, and then we get the Empress card in the environment around a season of time, abundance, great deal of uncertainty and worry, and then we get heavy decisions. It's a crossroads for the US economy. We get manipulation, can be manifestation, and we get... What have they manifested with this crossroads? The crossroads they created? It's heartbreak and loss and betrayal. However, there is hope. Hope is on the horizon. I wonder when that will be. Okay, when people stand up to him. Okay, this is where I think the Congress comes in and causes him to retreat on some of the worst of his impulses. But we do get, oh, good God. Some sort of action that the Congress takes to try and stabilise the economy. Okay, all right. I just want to leave it there. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's just have a look at messages for the here and now with the Osho Zen deck. Let's have a look. Messages for my viewers at this time. Messages for my viewers at this time. Many people are standing up, and that's what's going to save everything. Okay? All right, so messages right now, please. New starts, okay? Things will eventually be righted. There is a lot of seven of fire, stress. There's a lot of stress at the moment. We do have the Empress moving in. Creativity. How do you create a new start? You create a new start. We have the Ten of Cups, the voter in the past, and we have awareness here, awareness coming through. As I said, there's a moving toward consciousness, an Eight of Wands traveling, moving forward very, very quickly. Things are unfolding. Beyond Illusion is in the present here. Beyond Illusion, which is the Judgment card, and the Hierophant. It is about creation of something new. Wow. I know you're exhausted. The Nine of Wands. I know this is the exhaustion card in the hopes and fears, but we do have the King of Pentacles in the outcome, and we have intensity here. A lot of fire energy, the Knight of Wands, and then we get trust, the Page of Cups, trust in the universe. It's like a free fall toward the future. And we get the Six of Swords, letting go of the burdens, and we get the Ten of Swords. It's an ending and a beginning, a rebirth happening here. So I know that it's really, really difficult, but this is bringing forward the new. Thank you for tuning in, and bye for now. Please do have a safe, if you celebrate the Easter weekend, well, that's what we call it here. It's the Easter long weekend. If you have something similar in America, please do take care. And right across the world, in all our wonderful allies that I know that we all have, and for the world, for humanity, let's hope that this peace unfolding soon for all of us. Peace and harmony rather than war and conflict. Okay, bye for now.